This is Mad Lab Press.
Bitch.
Hello, Toronto Police Rick Shank. I can help you.
Hi, I'm looking to find out if Rick Shank still works for the TPS.
He retired 3 months ago.
The older you get, the more you forget the times in your life that seemed insignificant. And sometimes, there are times that you never forget. This is one of them for me. The story of Rick Shank. When I was a road cop, I ran into a lot of corrupt old school cops that took what they want, did what they want, and beat people that they want without consequence. Most people have no idea who Rick Shank is, let alone what he did. This story will not only shock you, but question who the hell is policing the police in Toronto. Sadly, these stories are becoming more and more common with less consequences. Now sit back and watch the corruption unfold. On April 14th, 1993, Cole and his friend Goodall were driving through a Scarborough neighborhood when they entered the parking lot of a club called Hilly's. Cole and Goodall entered the club, only to exit a short while later, making their way to their vehicle. Little did Cole and Goodall know was that they were being followed by a Toronto Police Guns and Gang spin team. When Cole and Goodall reached their car, they were swarmed by undercover Toronto police officers. Cole began to run, Shank giving chase. Shank caught up to Cole in a neighboring backyard and ended up shooting Cole to death. Shank stated at the time of the shooting that Cole had pointed a gun at him. Shank was cleared of any wrongdoing. Later that year in December, Shank and his fellow officers were accused of beating a man. When the man was back at the station, he was taken out of the back seat, where he was seen to be unconscious. Shank and other officers banged the man's head off the car while taking him to the booking hall. The man was then charged with assault police and resisting arrest. He denied all allegations against him. No charges were filed against Shank or any of the other officers. In 2006, Baden was on his way to a mosque when he was approached by undercover officers, including Shank's partner, Glenn Aslan. The three undercover officers did not tell Baden who they were, followed him to his apartment, and blocked his way into the elevator. Eventually, they took Baden to his apartment, barged in without a search warrant, and terrorized his family with guns drawn. They also beat up Baden. The case was settled out of court. In 2008, Shank and Aslan were involved in a major drug investigation into a meth operation. Shank and Aslan had a male by the name of Val Shanmani under surveillance for drug trafficking. Shank and Aslan tried everything to catch Shamnani and charge him, but were unsuccessful every time. Shank was becoming increasingly frustrated, not being able to catch Shamnani in the act. So in May 2008, Shanmani left his car in an underground parking lot for the night. When Chanmani woke the next morning, he found that his car had been broken into, all windows smashed. It wasn't until a week later Chanmani was arrested for allegedly having 7 kilos of methamphetamine in his car, worth an estimated $1 million. Shank had told the courts that he and Aslan had broken into the vehicle with a search warrant and found the drugs sitting in the backseat of his car, totaling 7 kilos. In 2013, Chanmani went to trial. 8 days earlier, Shank advised the court that he had pulled over a van with 2 suspects in it while working on his own and confiscated 52 kilos of methamphetamine from the 2 males in the van. Shank then told the court that he took the meth but did not have enough evidence to charge the 2 men, so he let them go but ended up keeping the 52 kilos of meth. Chanmani's lawyer said that Shank had planted drugs in Badin's car a week later in order to arrest him. The judge sided with Shank, while Chanmani got an 8-year jail sentence. In 1997, Shank shot Hugh Dawson 9 times in a drug bust as Dawson, unarmed, sat in his car driver's seat. Dawson died at the scene. The SIU charged Shank with manslaughter, who claimed that Dawson had reached for his gun. The first trial resulted in a hung jury. A second resulted in an acquittal.
In light of these events, few would question the need for safer streets, but there are some concerns being raised tonight about the people who patrol them. Specifically, one officer who was cleared in the shooting deaths of 2 black men in the 90s and is now the head of the force's professional standards unit. CTV's John Woodward joins us. John, why is this coming up now?
Nathan, this was an appointment made in the midst of a stay-at-home order during the pandemic 2 years ago to lead the unit responsible for internal accountability and public confidence in the police. Now critics are questioning whether that appointment was properly thought through.
Item number 5 is senior officer uniform promotion.
Decades later, in February 2021, Toronto's police board approved Shank's promotion to superintendent. He was assigned to lead professional standards. The move was little noted in the midst of Toronto's stay-at-home orders during the pandemic. Looking at it today, the promotion sends the wrong message, according to former Mayor John Sewell.
I mean, all of the bigwigs in the Toronto Police Service said, this is perfectly fine. And I think what it means is that this is a real demonstration of police culture.
Our request to speak to Shank himself was sent through Toronto Police Communications, which says in a statement, Superintendent Shank has served as a police officer for over 30 years with an exemplary record and is recognized for his many contributions to policing. Over the course of his career, he has demonstrated the highest levels of professionalism, ethics, and leadership, and has a record of service to the community. We stand by Superintendent Shank and his service.
Thank you for calling. Please wait while we transfer your call to the next available representative.
Hi, I'm looking to find out if Rick Shank still works for the TPS.
He retired 3 months ago.
Ah, okay. You answered my question. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So there it is. A cop who murdered 2 men, planted drugs on another, resulting in a man going to jail for 8 years. Then you get promoted to a unit that is supposed to oversee police misconduct. And the Toronto Police wonder why we have lost all trust in them. This is Mad Lab Press.